星は壊せてもたった一人の人間は壊せねえようだな。これは地球から貴様を倒すためにやってきたサイヤ人。
エペンとトランクスは無事だが。
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiling Movies. My name is Chris, and I'm going to tell you about a movie I just watched, and I'm going to break it down not terribly in detail. I'm not a professional reviewer. I'm just going to tell you what happens in the movie. There will be spoilers. Tell you if I liked it, whether or not I recommend it. If you didn't read the title, you can probably tell that I will recommend this because I'm a huge fan. If you couldn't tell. Anyway, the movie is Dragon Ball Super Broly. I was a little weirded out when they brought back Dragon Ball for the Super series, but I'm pretty glad they did because they're doing some interesting stuff. The movie begins 41 years ago. This is after the Tournament of Power that was part of the series that just ended. King Cold, Frieza's father, and Frieza are landing on planet Vegeta. King Cold is announcing his retirement, and Frieza will be taking over as leader of the now Frieza army. Frieza acts very cold and cruel, kills some people, gives them some new battle scouters. That's how they get their scouters to detect power levels and where people are and shit. And he just kind of acts like a dick and leaves the planet. Then we see King Vegeta going into a incubation chamber for young Saiyans. Young Vegeta is on a little pedestal in the middle, surrounded in other chambers by different Saiyan babies with high battle powers, and one of them has a battle power that's off the charts. And the king is not only jealous that the child has a higher power than his son, but also he's a little worried that that kid could be unstable and, destroy them or whatever. When they announced that they were going to do this Broly movie, I was like, ugh, haven't we seen enough Broly stuff? But they were going to rewrite his origin story, which also I was a little iffy on. So this is a retelling of that story and actually making Broly canon in the show. Broly used to not be a part of the series. It was just like a separate movie idea. King Vegeta is going to banish his son, exile his son to some shitty planet, and he kind of lies to him about the reasons why. Paragus is like, I know you're doing this because you're just jealous of his power. And Paragus, flies off to go find his son. And he finds the kid, and the kid has been surviving somehow because of his mysterious young power. The idea was to get Broly off the planet, wait a little while till he grows up and learns to be a fighter, and then go back to planet Vegeta and get his revenge on the king. But what happens is the ship gets stranded on that planet, and they both end up just getting stuck there. Then 5 years after that, Frieza makes a call to all the Saiyans, and they're all ordered back to planet Vegeta, where we meet Bardock, and we finally get to see Goku's mother. It's always been hinted at. We never knew who she was. Her name is Gine, I think. Bardock ends up being more of a loving father. He senses that Frieza is going to do something messed up, so he decides to take young baby Goku, grab one of the pods and send him off into space, and it's a little bit of an emotional moment with them, and it's cool to see Bardock actually giving a shit and to see Goku's mother for the first time ever. So then, of course, Frieza blows up that motherfucker. Present day, back to Earth. Goku and Vegeta are having a fight. They're hanging out at Bulma's, fancy place. Beerus, the god of destruction, and Whis are there, just hanging out, eating nice food with them. We find out from Trunks through a security recording that some people have, a couple of Frieza's men have stolen the 6 Dragon Balls that Bulma had. And so they are going to find who took them and find the last Dragon Ball. While flying to their location, we find out that Bulma was planning on using the Dragon Balls to make herself look 5 years younger. they make a joke about like, "Yeah, so you've just been doing that every now and then. You've just been using the Dragon Balls to make yourself just slightly younger, so no, so we don't notice that you're aging." Cut to inside Frieza's ship, and he is looking for, trying to get the Dragon Balls also, and the people ask him like what's he trying to wish for, and he says he wants to be 5 centimeters taller. Just like Bulma, it's a vanity thing. But he doesn't want to be seen as way taller all at once. He wants people to think he's still growing. So it's a funny Bulma Frieza vanity thing. The two members of the Frieza army that got the Dragon Balls end up finding the planet where Paragus and Broly are on and saving them and taking them to Frieza on his ship. Frieza manipulates both of them by saying King Vegeta's son is still around, and if you're still wanting revenge on King Vegeta, I'll take you to his son and you can get revenge on his son. While at the same time, Paragus, the father of Broly, is still using a mind control device that's around Broly's neck, a little handheld device thing to keep him in check, because if he goes crazy, his power is out of control and he can't control himself. While they're on the ship, the two members of the Frieza people that found them start to be nice to Broly. They're like having lunch in a lunch hall. They find out that the Paragus has been controlling Broly, and they feel like that's cruel. So the girl ends up sneaking in Paragus's pocket, stealing the device, and breaking it, so he can't control Broly anymore. And as these two people are talking to Broly, he's telling his story about being on the planet. They're like, "What's this weird thing you're wearing around your waist?" And he says it was the ear. It was the ear of a giant monster that became his friend on the planet. The dad found out that he was kind of playing with the monster, and it didn't consider that training, so he shot the monster's ear off, and now he wears it as like a belt. Not a belt, like a weird dress thing you tie around. I don't know what you'd call that. Back on Earth, Frieza brings a ship down. Vegeta and Goku are there. Broly is told, sick 'em. Go get those motherfuckers. That's Vegeta. That's the reason why we were stuck on that shitty planet. So Broly attacks, and there's really, really cool fight scenes. Man, they stepped up their game with like the fight animation on this new stuff. Broly's just learning as he goes, keeping up with Vegeta. Then Vegeta goes like red-haired god mode. Broly has a little bit more of a tough time, but eventually just toughs through it and starts, smacking him around a little bit. There's a weird thing in this movie, because Broly's power is green, and that's sort of what he's known for, it has been in the past. They do this weird little hint of green when Vegeta or Goku just starts changing into their, whatever form they're going to be. There's like a hint of green that has never been there in the show for those characters. The green has never been one of their power colors, which is odd. It's an odd choice. Paragus tries to call Broly back, but he can't do it because the machine is gone, and Broly is starting to lose control and shit, and he's just, and he's using mouth blast, like a crazy mouth blast. I don't know if he's ever done that in the other movies or whatever, but he's like, So Goku finally decides to step in because Vegeta's kind of, starting to lose his shit, and he's getting jealous that he's not able to, he's missing out on a good fight. So Goku gets in there, powers up, and then we start hearing weird music. It's like, Kakarot! Broly! Go! Kakarot! Broly! Go! And it's like really weird. Some crazy chaotic fight scenes happen. Goku in his red god form is able to paralyze Broly. But almost immediately, Broly's like, snaps out of it and is able to paralyze him and then just smack the shit out of him, just fucking throw him around. But Broly is basically still in his base level form, still with the black hair, and he's tossing around these gods like it's nothing, basically. And they even do the classic, Broly's got Goku's head and just like smashes it through like a wall, kind of like one of the old movies, like an homage to the old movie. Piccolo sends Goku a message because he knows that something's going on, and he's like, if you need to, you could come here to where I am and, chill for a minute because I can sense there's some fucked up shit happening. So then Vegeta and Goku are kind of fighting side by side at a certain point. They use a lot more 3D CG stuff in this movie than I've seen in pretty much any other movie. It's a little off-putting. It almost makes it look a little bit like a video game when they're kind of circling around and it's like obviously 3D. But then other times when they're doing like giant explosions and stuff that look real, it looks real. It's really cool. Their power is so intense and the fight is so crazy that the whole place that was all ice and snow has now become lava and fire and shit. Frieza decides that in order to get Broly to his full potential, he kills Paragus, kills Broly's father, in order to make him think that they killed him accidentally, like with one of the blasts that was flying around. And so he's like, Broly, your father's dead. They accidentally killed him or whatever. And he's like, ah! And it's just chaos. The animation is fucking chaos. The fight choreography, it's hard to tell what's going on sometimes. It's fucking nuts. And we got Super Saiyan Broly. It's starting to get super heated during the battle. Goku decides to take Vegeta. They teleport to where Piccolo is. Broly ends up just starting to beat the fucking shit out of Frieza because he's just in the way now. Like, they sort of lured him over to where Frieza was, and now he's just fucking bashing Frieza and just beating the shit out of him. It's pretty great. Goku and Piccolo are teaching Vegeta how to do the fusion dance. Obviously, he doesn't want to do it, but he's like, Bulma's gonna die if we don't do this, so, get on board. So they teach him, and they do it, but of course, they fuck up the fusion dance, and they become the skinny, old-looking, weird Gogeta. They do the dance again, and they screw it up one more time, and end up being the fat Vegeta. And meanwhile, there's like 30, it's like they're merged for 30 minutes each time, so it keeps flashing back to Broly beating the shit out of Frieza. So Frieza's basically getting the shit kicked out of him for over an hour. So the newly fused, perfect Gogeta, once they get the dance right, the fusion dance, they're the good version of Gogeta. They teleport back to where Broly is. Awesome fight starts. Now the music has changed to Gogeta! Gogeta! Broly! Like, it's just so weird. It's fucking, they both yellow-haired Super Saiyan for a little bit. Fucking crazy shit's going on, crazy battle. And then fucking Gogeta goes blue. Fucking Broly goes green. During this insane fucking fight, they break the universe open, it shatters. And they just keep fighting in this just nonsense dimension where it's all colors and shapes and shit. And then they break it again, and now we're back in the real world again. Their power is so intense. Not only did they turn all of the ice and snow to lava, they shattered the universe, kept fighting, and then shattered it again and came back. What happens in these fight scenes is so quick, it was hard to take notes on. And it was hard to follow every little attack and every move that happens. One thing that I really love with Super is sometimes they'll introduce maneuvers and special moves that you have never seen in any of the other shit before, and they do that with both of them. They have new moves that you've never seen before, and Gogeta pulls this fantastical fucking thing where he just like gets him up in the air and just fucking explodes him, and he does the Stardust Breaker thing and throws him like some of the old fancy regular moves and a bunch of new ones. It's fucking great. A couple of the Frieza members that have made friends with Broly are worried that he's about to die because Gogeta's kind of kicking his ass. So they call the dragon with all of the 7 Dragon Balls together. They call the dragon, and right as Gogeta's about to make a final Kamehameha or something, they make the wish at the last second. They say, "Send Broly back to the planet where we found him." And so right as the blast is happening, it's like, phew! And then Broly's back on his other shitty planet. That was a moment where I actually had a little bit of an issue with, because he was sent back to that planet, but he was still in like crazy berserker mode, but they just kind of gloss over that, and now he's just kind of normal, which may have been a weird translation. Maybe the part of the wish was that he would be normal and get back to the planet. I don't really know, but I was wondering, like, man, if you sent him back there, wouldn't he just destroy the planet? Because he's still kind of crazy, right? I don't know. Anyway, the two people decide that they want to stay on that planet with Broly. Goku ends up teleporting to the planet. and they're like, what do you want? You know, like, why are you here to fight? And he's like, I'm here to help you. I enjoyed that fight, and I want to do it again. Come here and train with Broly sometimes. So he gives them a capsule with resources and stuff, and so they can live comfortably on that planet. Another thing that bothers me is that Goku allows Frieza to live. And they even show Frieza still destroying planets with his army. Like, what a bad decision, Goku. You're just letting Frieza just go do whatever he wants. You're a bad hero. And that's the movie. That's basically it. I think it's fucking beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in Dragon Ball history. I'm glad they retold the story because it makes a little bit more sense now. The fight scenes are so crazy and intense, and they're really well animated. And you could tell there was a lot of work put into like the fight choreography, the animation, and the effects and everything. Sometimes the effects are a bit much. Sometimes things are happening so fast that it's hard to keep up with. If you're that crazy god power, be able to move past the speed of nothingness, then like of course it's going to be a little chaotic. And they went a little overboard with some of the effects and how like it's just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Some Doctor Strange fucking acid trip shit. But my god, does it get you going. Like this, it's the best fight. It's a long fight scene and it's so good. I want to go back and rewatch it like every day now. The music is mostly cool, but you know, like I said, when they do that weird like go Broly, Gogeta, like they start doing that, I thought that was a little bit odd. I never thought we would get to this point. I never thought I would see this stuff again, and especially not on this level of production. This is top tier Dragon Ball, and I recommend it to fans, obviously fans of Dragon Ball. I guess I recommend it to anime fans in general, but not every anime fan likes Dragon Ball. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and I give it 2 goddamn Super Saiyan thumbs ups. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. And I'll catch you next time on the next one. Peace out, guys. Meow.
信じらんねえ。ほらあの世で
確かに貴様以上の特訓はしたと思うが
相当修行したつもりだがな。